Welcome to Pike Creek Farm. Today I'm going to do another project for Stocktober. And I'm going to do one batch today, but I'll be doing more. I'm going to make homemade granola. We've already been into it, but it has lots of great stuff in it. And it is easy to make. It is cost efficient to make, so much more than buying it. I put less sugar in it. I put less oil in it. It is just wonderful. And so let me bring you along while I stock up on homemade granola for Stocktober. Okay, first get out a nice size bowl, and into that bowl we're going to put 1.5 cups of dry old-fashioned oats you want for this. Not the quick oats, you want the old-fashioned rolled oats. So measure that out into your bowl, and you can double this or triple this if you have enough stuff and a large enough bowl. It's up to you. I'm just doing a single batch today. Next, I'm going to add in some unsweetened shredded coconut. I'm going to do 1/3 cup. And this is shredded. I like it when I can find the flakes that are bigger, but I didn't have access to the flakes. Next is going to be pumpkin seeds, 1/3 cup. I like to find the raw, but they did not have the raw available locally. But if you can get the raw, they're the best to use. But either one tastes good in it. Now we're going to add dried cranberries. And I try to find unsweetened or the low sugar because it makes a big difference in your total sugar content. So usually I can find the low sugar, the unsweetened are more of a challenge for me. If you know of a great place to get them, let me know. And they do stick together, so you'll have to kind of break them up, separate them from sticking. Next, we're going to add pecan halves, raw, and we're going to break them up so that they're not in such big half sizes. And I add, almost a cup of them. There's, air space in it. The original recipe called for 40 halves, and I just don't count them out. So I just add a cup is what I do. And then I break them up in the bowl. They break really easily, especially since I keep my pecans in the freezer. So when you bring them out, they really snap easily. And I decided to add a little bit more, so I added a little over a cup actually. And now I'm just breaking them up. If you like walnuts better, you could do that. You could put macadamia nuts. If you don't like nuts, you can leave them out. But break them up so they're more in bite-sized pieces, and so that when you get a spoon of the granola, you don't have just a pecan. We're going to add in 1/2 teaspoon of pure vanilla. And then we're going to add in coconut oil, just over a tablespoon, like a tablespoon and 1 teaspoon that's been melted. Now it's time for real maple syrup, and we're going to have 3 tablespoons of maple syrup. And that's the sweetener that we're going to use. It gives a really nice, rich flavor and makes it just sweet enough. Next come the dry spices, which give it a nice warm flavor. And we're going to add cinnamon first. We're going to do about a 1/2 teaspoon, 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. I don't measure it exact. And then just a dash of ground nutmeg. And it also calls for a 1/4 teaspoon of Himalayan salt, pink salt, sea salt, whatever kind of salt you want to use, not table salt. And that's all the ingredients. Now we're just going to mix it all up and have everything coated evenly so that the oatmeal doesn't look as powdery dry. And we're just going to mix it up, and then it will be spread out on the parchment lined cookie sheet. Now we're going to spread it onto the cookie sheet. Just dump it all out on a parchment lined cookie sheet, and then spread it out into an even thin layer. And make sure you get everything out of that bowl. You don't want to miss any piece of yumminess. So spread it out, make it nice and even and equally dispersed so it doesn't all clump together one type of thing in one spot like all the cranberries. So just spread it out, and then we are going to put it in the oven on 300 for 35 to 40 minutes. And we will stir occasionally, and we want to cook it until it's dry and lightly toasted. Here I am stirring it halfway through, and you can see the color is starting to get a little deeper and richer, and we'll just keep cooking it until it's nice and toasty and dry. I've let this cool, and now I'm going to put it in this mason jar. And I want to do another batch and stock up on it. This will keep at least a month like this, and if you vacuum sealed it, it would be longer. So this is what I do to stock up. I'll be making a couple more batches of this because it's good. It's better for me than cereal. This recipe has less fat than the store-bought ones and a lot less expensive. I'll show you when I put it on top of the yogurt and everything. I'll take it. I took it to a ladies' retreat for church to add to the breakfast we had. So here is some of it. It clumps together a little. It's crunchy. It's sweet. You have the nuts, but the cinnamon comes through and the spices. I'm dropping things. The dried cranberries get a little harder, just an FYI. They're pretty chewy. I don't mind them like that, but you could always add them in after you bake everything else and get it all toasty. They're good. Now, how do I use this? Well, as you see, I love it with yogurt. Add some fruit. Make a banana split. Put a half a banana split, put yogurt, put fruit, and put this, and a drizzle of honey, and it's so good. Just a snack on. I like it that way. I like it in a bowl with milk. I add it on top of oatmeal for some extra crunch. I put it on top of muffins to add some crunch on top of them. I put it on ice cream. I just enjoy it a lot. Thank you so much for watching. So I will be doing a few more jars of this, and I will vacuum seal some of those. But it will last for at least a month, just like this. So keep on watching for more ideas and ways to stock up for Stocktober and how to use what you have stocked up, because that's just as important. If we stock it up and we don't use it, that's not good. So see you next time at Pike Creek Farm.